What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a while. How you guys doing? Mr. Extraordinary over here. It's been a minute. Anyway, before we get into anything, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for everybody, or rather to everybody who has subscribed, who has liked, who has commented um, on my previous videos. I truly appreciate it. Um, just don't forget to click the notification bell icon so that you can be updated on any other videos that might come in the future. Before I do anything, I just wanted to share this beautiful artwork from my friend, my dear childhood friend, um, Lucky Manaka, also known as Nigel Manaka. He asked me to finish this sketch of his, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. It's awesome, isn't it? Um, so he's an artist and he does really great stuff. I'll share a link below so that you can check some of his drawings. He has made a video, I think a year or two ago, no, probably like 3 years ago, where he's just talking about his artistic journey. So I'm gonna leave a link so that you can check out his stuff. And if you'd like to buy some of his work, let me know, because he's also selling his artwork. I can give you his number and then you can contact him. Let's support local talent, you know what I mean? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. And this is a beautiful gift. Thanks. Shout out to you, Nigel Manaka. Thanks for the beautiful artwork. I call him Nigel Uno. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Anyway, so what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. It's actually my number one favorite superhero. What I like about the character is, well, first of all, he does not have any superpowers, right? So he risks his life on a daily basis um, to fighting crime and to making sure that at the end of the day, people get home safely. From whatever plans that the criminals had, whether they wanted to mug, kill, or do any other thing that I can't even think of right now, or can think of but don't even want to say out loud. I've mentioned before on my Mr. Extraordin channel that Batman was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Even though Bill Finger was not credited as a co-creator at the time, he was only credited later on in life. Bill Finger was crucial in the creation of Batman, particularly in the look of the suit. Because before Batman was red and had blonde hair. I mean, the costume was red and he had blonde hair. I think that's what Bill Finger had done. Anyway, why am I bringing him up? I just wanted to share with you guys a behind the scenes take on what happened when Joel Schumacher was directing Batman Forever. That came out in the 90s, which had Val Kilmer, Nicole Kidman, it had Chris O'Donnell, it had Tommy Lee Jones. And basically, they're just giving us an idea of what went down from the casting process to the storyline to the approach, because at the time the movies that came out before were the two films by Tim Burton. I think Batman came out in the late 80s and then Batman Returns in the early 90s. So initially Michael Keaton was asked to reprise his role, but then he declined, and Joel Schumacher decided to bring in Val Kilmer. So basically, they touch on how Joel Schumacher came to the project, how Val Kilmer was approached, how Nicole Kidman was considered for a specific role, how Tommy Lee Jones decided to come on board, how Jim Carrey was also considered for the role of Edward Nigma, aka the Riddler, how Chris O'Donnell also jumped on, and what came out of it. I personally think that it's one of the best movies of all time for a Batman fan, especially when you are young, a kid, because it's not too dark and it's not too campy or light or kiddish. It's in between, and it's unfortunate that it's underrated. It was not horrible in my opinion. Maybe I'm being biased because that was the first movie I've actually watched from the beginning to the end. The first Batman movie that I watched from the beginning to end. I think Val Kilmer's performance was great. He actually sounds like Kevin Conroy from the Batman animated series, which was awesome. Also, physically, he looked great. He was a handsome man, was nicely built, you know. So he could be an intimidating figure if you look at him, even out of costume. Um, and I mean, Jim Carrey as the Riddler was awesome. And Nicole Kidman was a beautiful love interest. So we cannot deny that. But it also touches on the film that came afterwards, which was Batman and Robin. And they explain why George Clooney came in instead of Val Kilmer. They also talk about how George Clooney had a certain schedule, because he was also shooting ER at the time. So they also talk about how Chris O'Donnell came back and they were introducing Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, even though she was not Barbara Gordon, she was Barbara Wilson, but you could see that, she was still Batgirl. Then also including Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, as well as Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze. So you kind of get an idea of what Joel Schumacher had in mind with these two projects, albeit, he took two different approaches to these projects, because the first one, they talk about how um, they came up with certain marketing strategies to promote the film. In the second one, how it didn't come out the way they had planned or they had hoped, but they had no choice, and how sometimes when certain other companies intervene in certain projects, you can see how that can jeopardize the quality of the movie. They were talking about how a toy company buzzed in, and so it became this colossal thing because of that. But apart from that, I think that it's a brilliant film to watch. By that I mean the documentary in itself. If you haven't seen those movies, I think you should just check them out, but don't have high expectations. Just see them for what they are. One of the reasons why I like Batman so much is that you can view him from any age. By that I mean, when you're a child, you can watch Batman and Robin, and you'll enjoy it. As you get a bit older, you can watch Batman Forever. As you get a bit older than that, you can watch Batman and Batman Returns. And as you get a lot older, that's when you can watch Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, and then as you become older than that, you can watch Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, then the Justice League. So I believe that he's a character that can appeal to any age, depending on who's writing the character, whether it's a lighter version, a campy version, like the 60s Batman series with starring Adam West, or something a bit darker, like whether you're reading the Dark Knight comic book, or you're reading Year One comic book, or you're actually playing the games like your Arkham games. So the documentary just explores those two films that I've mentioned, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So if you really like stuff like that, movie trivia, seeing what happened behind the scenes, what actors were thinking, how they approached the film, and all of that, then I genuinely think that you should watch it. So I'll leave a link in the description below, and let me know your thoughts. Did you watch it as a kid? Who's your favorite Batman actor? Um, and with the latest Flash film that came out recently, have you watched it already? If you haven't, do you think that Michael Keaton will, portray a great Batman, even though other, Batman actors have raised the bar? Your Christian Bale, your Ben Affleck. Do you think that Michael Keaton will still do a great job, or do you think that it was a mistake for him to actually come back and don the cape? Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and yeah, let's talk about it, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Alright, cheers.